in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Stand in the line, they put me in the center. It blow they mind when they see how I'm winning. Went back and doubled up, now you in trouble. My all hustle, my diamonds are huddled up. TGOD got this off the muscle. Ask me about my life, man, I love it, I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now it ain't no more struggle. My team win the game, put our face on the cover, brother. We the champions. Here in Los Angeles.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And off we go to wrap up a great Sunday of football. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Strong going to look to throw it right off the bat. His throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Strong. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
Yeah, they held them to well under 200 yards of total offense. And in today's NFL, that's a feat to be proud of, especially with the emphasis on offense and what we're seeing each and every week, that great creativity and usual productivity.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Off play action. Strong. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
But let's be honest about the whole thing. When you're looking for a reliable set of hands on third down, the first thought is often not fullback. But that's who they turn to there, and he does a nice job of securing the football and picking up the first down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll look to throw again. Sliding out of the pocket. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Love. Got a man, that's Richie James. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And this one out quickly to James. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 2nd down. The Bengals at 11-5 on the year, and they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way.
Play action this time with Love. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
On 3rd down, Love. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 41. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll start the drive with a give to White. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. Strong. On target to his man, Likely. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And the return will stop right around the 25.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. First carry for Kenneth Gainwell. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 31 yards there and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. but his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. 30, 10, and he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Well, for the offense, it looked like that drive had the makings of something good. They were starting to hit a groove, but the defense clearly had other ideas, not only to force the turnover, but to handle the scoring themselves.
Yeah, no panic in their eyes, was their partner? Think about it this way. A Hall of Fame coach once told me the best characteristic he liked out of his teams was that they didn't flinch. This group, they got pushed back in an early series, kept their composure, and made a big play that swung the momentum their way.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Even though they might not find the #1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they can very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Love with it here, 3rd and short yardage. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's James. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3 and out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, #1, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it. And occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Michelle. Oh, he's got a little daylight. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here we go.
Keeping it on the ground on 1st, Michelle. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Now that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Michelle. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to the guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Michel is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Michel again. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Sony Michel, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from evening this one up. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So we'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think, Bill? Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this 1st half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel, and he's got it down to the 28.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? Love's throw into the hands of Cobb. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Michel running up the gut. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 57 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Michel on an island by himself in the backfield, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Sony Michel with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PBT. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Throwing on first down. Strong.
Right side, there's Likely with it.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And Thomas has it. They find some open field here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now a play fake here on first down. His throw caught at about the 5.
And the Ravens are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. They'll bring a tight end in motion. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
No hesitation, goes right back to Likely.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it'll bring up a second and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal. Now a give up the middle. This is White, and he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Looking to throw. Strong. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Love now.
That's complete downfield to James.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Love now to pass on first down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
and it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Ravens will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled into 20. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success.
He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Bengals. Richie James, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Strong. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Strong. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Raven first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
first down. Here's White. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw. Strong. Complete to Likely on the out route. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
They run straight ahead here with White. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Off play action. Strong. Complete to Likely. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They'll run for it. This is Wright. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Bengals will get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you get success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Love from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Strong under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the corner blitz gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun. Strong. He's got White here. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They go play action here on first down. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Open man, here is Cobb. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. On the handoff, it's Michelle. Down right around the 25.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So maybe not a breakout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Greg Newsome up to make the stop.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here. He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here when we talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. Fourth quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So again, almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things through this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 65 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. First down, here's Mitchell. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Second down and 4. On second down, here's Mitchell.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. So they get the conversion on fourth, and now from the 25, they operate with a 1st and 10.
Off the play fake. Strong. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Looking to throw. Strong. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On third down. Strong. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
So this one in Marine, Colorado for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cincinnati,
they finish off the regular season at 12 up and 5 down.
And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Baltimore,
it will indeed be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 7-10.
And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved.